Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. That's right. You know it. It's the bottom line. Brought to you by Chance's Logistics. Scrap Daddy up and down the highway all day long moving the freight. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. That's right. Fast Freddy and I are here in Studio 02, brought to you by Chance's Used Auto Parts. We're going to get down to the meat and potatoes like you want us to, week in and week out. Let me get back here. We got some new furniture in here. I got a new chair going on now, man. I tell you, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay. We ain't worried about no hat tonight. That's right. I don't know why I try to wear one. Once again, brought to you by Chance's Logistics, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Okay, here we go. Now, first thing we're going to get to, like we always get to. Fred, we good? We're running? Everything's hot rodding?
We're looking good so far.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to get to the East Coast Legends Weekly Race Roundup. That's right, East Coast Legends Weekly Race Roundup, brought to you by David H. Martin and Excavating. That's right, over 55 years in the business, doing residential, agricultural, commercial excavation and utility work. Family-owned, multi-generational, and they're also the title sponsor of the East Coast Legends. They were at Linda Speedway Friday night. That's right, Linda Speedway Friday night, just up off 81. Alex McCollum was victorious. Alex McCollum, Jeremy Ott was second. Scott Howden-Shield rolled in on the podium in third. From what I understand, I wasn't there, and it was a close finish. I mean, super close. Picture perfect, like Teal Beard likes to say. You know what I mean? So, Path Valley, they go up to the quarter-mile bull ring and spring run on Saturday night. That's right, Path Valley, we see Tanner Jones victorious in the East Coast Legends. Alex McCollum runs second. Good weekend for him, a 1-2 deal. Jeremy Ott, third. Good weekend for him, a 2-3 deal. Okay? Now, next week, this coming week, they go to Winchester Speedway, the action track. That's right, in Winchester, Virginia, the 3/8 mile. They're always good down there. They get a lot of cars, high car count, usually run 2 features down there. And, so that's where they're heading. Once again, that's the East Coast Legends Weekly Race Roundup, brought to you by David H. Martin and Excavating. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we're rolling tonight. Fred, we got good? Everything's rolling?
We're looking good, yes.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. Now, we're going to get to our weekly results, brought to you by Dan's Auto Repair. That's right, located in the east side downtown Rouserville. I got to love Rouserville. That's right, you ought to love it with me. And right there, you can get inspections, oil changes, lubes, major, minor overhauls, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? You go down there and see Chad, he'll fix you up. I can assure you that. Okay. Now, Path Valley. Let's start out at Path Valley Saturday night. It was a beautiful weekend, too, ladies and gentlemen. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was a great weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday was a little rough. But anyways, to get a lot of good racing, there was a lot of places to go. So we're at Path Valley in the hills of Spring Run. Ron and Margaret McGee and Timmons Memorial. That's right. It was increased purses there. Now, a little history on that. Roy and Margaret McGee, they built the place. That's right, in 1986, and it opened in 1987. It was sold in 2000 to John Winsett, Vicky, and Jack Flowers. Okay? So that's how Path Valley, how long it's been in existence and where it started. So, moving on. Limited late models. We've seen a decent field, heavy hitters. We've seen the Worleystown Express, DJ Myers parking in Victory Lane. He wasted no time, ladies and gentlemen. He hit the top groove and he was going. I can assure you that. He was in that family built race car, TRW race cars. That's exactly right. The big country, Randy Burkholder, runs second. Cheyenne Smith hauls it on the podium and finishes a strong third. Cheyenne's been having some good finishes here as of late. So is Myers, Burkholder, Smith in the limiteds. Thunder Cars, we seen Update in the 77. That's right, Aaron Updegraff. He was victorious. Tara Sales, what a finish for her. I got to give her dibs on that in that 28T. She put it there in second place. Travis Burkholder, third. He was running the tank, Charlie Stallman's 11S ride because he's out with injury. Okay? Moving on, Wingless Sportsman's, Tony Jackson. That's right, the 88 of Tony Jackson. Troy Rome was second. Superman Steve Wilbur hauled her in third. TA Ward 270s. Billy Lockman. How about Billy Lockman? That's old Scrub Eckert's neighbor down there. They drink beer together a lot. You know what I'm saying? He rolled another one. He just won the $2,000 race back there like weeks and weeks ago, and then he hauled in the 500 Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Aiden Krause, good run for him. Okay, second place. How about this? Jordan Knable, the young lady. That's right. She's been digging and digging. And, buddy, I'm going to tell you what. She's seen her ups and downs of racing. I can assure you that. But she's been digging, and she puts it on the podium in the third place. 600s, Heath Walton, that young man right there. I think he's 14, maybe 15, like that. This guy's turning some heads, I can assure you. He dusted them off there in the 600s. Dylan Anderson second, and Bryce Harrow was third. Winged super sportsmen, that's right. Scott Dillinger. He was chasing down Tony Jackson. Jackson broke of some sort. Dillinger finishes out number 1. Kenny Atkins 2. Troy Rome 3. Check out Troy Rome. He had a third and a second on the weekend. Good for him. Winchester. That's right. Winchester. First of all, we heard it was a bad crash there. Braden Carter. It was a bad crash. And he's okay. He went to the hospital to get checked over, looked at, and he's okay. And that's what matters right there. That's all that matters. Okay? He's okay. Limited late models. We've seen Russell Irwin. That's right. The Captain Cal Hardy ran second. Austin Stover ran third. Crates. We've seen the Captain Cal Hardy parking in Victory Lane in the 99. David Kaiser runs second. We just had David on the show here last week, wasn't it, Fred?
Yeah, it was last week.
I was right. That was last week. Travis Campbell runs third. Track champion goes to David Kaiser in the crates. Good for him. Heck of a job. Pure Stocks, Alan Brannon. Pure Stock makeup, they had a makeup, was Walter Crouch. Now, let me get a drink of water. Everybody take 2. I got to tell you, other than yesterday having that microcell that caused like 60-mile-an-hour winds and tsunamic rains, that's what I'm looking for, tsunamic rains, the weather is picture perfect.
Oh, it was great today.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful the rest of the week. Going into the weekend, I don't knock on wood. I don't see any issues at all. And there's a lot of racing, guys.
Today and just sanded my wood projects.
There you go, buddy. Outside doing some retirement work, Fred. That's what I like, Fred. You know, no, all joking aside, there is a ton of racing in September, right at the end of the month here, this weekend in September. Tons of big money shows that are good shows. Okay, so get out there. Get out there. Port Royal, the Speed Palace. Okay, Lucas Oil late models are in town. That's right. Lucas Oil is in town starting on Friday night. Everybody gets wound tight, including myself, okay, because you always hope there's a piece of hope that lets a local regional guy put an ass whooping down on the Lucas guys. You got to love it. Eckert did it in 2017, okay? But here's what we got. Super late models, imagine that. RTJ, he wins, okay? Jonathan Davenport, Friday night, second. Brandon Shepard in the Rocket House car, third. And, yes, I've heard all day long. It's been everywhere. Josh Richards will be in the Hillbilly 100 at Lernerville this weekend. It is what it is, okay? It makes no bearing on local dirt track racing, people. It really don't. Now, we've seen Cochran get in the show. That's right, the Billtown Bandit in the 118. We've seen Weaver. He was in the show Friday night. It was good racing. I got to be honest. I mean, RTJ went nutso, okay, and passed Davenport like a nut. And but that's what makes that guy win a lot of races. I got to be honest. I mean, he's good. He's good. Limited late models were on the card for Friday night. I knew that was going to be a ball buster, if you will, okay, because there were some heavy foots signed in there. Brad McGinnis, he takes the checkered, finishes first. Snooky, Lane Snook runs second. Okay, Snooky tried. He tried his heart out. He got into the fence there a little bit coming off two, and that paced him back. But I got to be honest. I mean, he was right there. And
I think he'd have had him if he wouldn't have got into the fence.
Yeah, I mean, probably Brad McGinnis. He's listening to this. He's probably like, he wouldn't have had me like that. But bottom line is,
no, Snooky was giving him a run for his money.
He was. I got to give him that. Matt Murphy. There's a decent finish. Matt Murphy, third. Okay, third. So good for him. UMP mods. It was a modified Mafia. They were in town both nights, Friday and Saturday. They were on the card, okay? They had a lot of cars signed in. You know, Mike Marlar, he got to get the ride for Friday and Saturday night. Guess what? In the number 5, the Foster-owned modified, okay? That's right, Marlar did. Well, guess what Marlar did? He won Friday night in the Foster-owned number 5, okay? Ray Cable was second. Spike Moore was third. That's right, good old Spike. Saturday night, super late model time again, okay? We see our victor there was RTJ, Ricky Thornton Jr., okay? Imagine that. Madden was second. Moran was third, okay? And once again, it must have been one hell of a duel there during that race. And, RTJ, I wasn't there, obviously, it was a Path Valley, right? But I watched the replay, and yeah, there's no doubt about it. RTJ went nutso again, and he passed him. I mean, he did. They raced hard and hard. I mean, you're probably glued to your seat if you're up there. Satterley got an 8th, respectively. Cosner 14th, Eckert 15th. Eckert was the hard charger. Scrub was the hard charger because he passed 10 cars. Okay, Mods. Mike Marlar wins in the Jerry Foster number 5 Saturday night in the modified. Okay, George Dixon second. And then Stremme, that's right, Mr. Lethal. Stremme, he parks her in 3rd place, gets a podium out of it. So, yeah, all in all, Port Royal was, it was happening, okay? It was a lot of good racing, ton of good cars. And the fans were a little light on Friday night. I was surprised. I wasn't there Saturday, so I have no idea what the fan population looked like. But I know Friday night she was a little skimpy in general admission. But bottom line is, they were there, had a nice weather. People got to get out, socialize, fellowship, if you will, okay, and watch some racing. Bedford was off. Friday night. Sealings Grove was off. Baps, they were scheduled to run yesterday, 410s. They canceled at the end of the week. I guess Colton Gauss, he has a direct contact with Mother Nature. They canceled it early, and I'm glad they did because the weather wasn't good, okay? And they rescheduled that, and I believe it's Tuesday or Wednesday. We still good, Fred?
Yeah, we're still good.
Okay, I guess it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. But it's 410 show, okay? That's why I'm not sure. Hagerstown was off. Hagerstown was off as well. Okay, moving on. Lincoln, 410s. We see the TC backer, number 75, Cameron Smith in Victory Lane. The Concrete Kid, Anthony Macri, he was second. Tyler Ross was third. 358s, I like this guy, Dylan Norris. I do. I like Dylan Norris. I think he gives his heart and soul out, and he gets struggles and adversity, and he keeps coming back at you. He'll win them 358 shows or be on the podium all night long. And he runs 410s. He just picked up a 410 feature win there a couple weeks ago. Okay? Williams Grove, okay? Williams Grove in the Wingless Sportsman's was Derek Shearer, ain't that awful? Brandon Scherer, okay? Brandon Scherer. He's going to hit me for that. Brandon Scherer. He was your winner in the Wingless Sportsman. That's number 2 on the year for him. Number 1 came several weeks ago, okay, at Path Valley. And then, bam, he did it again at Williams Grove. Tony Jackson in the 88 McCoy Brothers machine runs second. Superman Steve Wilbur, third. 410s. It was Danny Dietrich, Double D. Dietz, and then Macri. So, Double D, Dietz, and Macri. That's a strong 1-2-3 right there. I can tell you that. Linda's Speedway. Okay, we're going back to Linda's here. We're going back. PO Micro Midgets, 500s. Ryan Wells was victorious. Todd Walsh chasing, I believe, number 9 victory of the year. Ran second. Okay. Chase Fry was third. Okay, Chase Fry was third. Todd Walls, obviously, Walls, Wallpapering and Painting, a proud sponsor here on Elbows Up Dirt Productions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're trying to, ladies, why I keep asking for all good, because something's going wacko, I don't know. Since last week with the show, I think somebody's sabotaging us. I'm not sure, but no, something's going wacko. We got great service, and I'm just a little gun shy, because once that happens one time, that sends you for a loop when things shut down, okay? Anyways, moving on. 300s, Micro Midget 300s, Asher Paxton, Maddox Wire, and then your very own Hunter Smith. Stone throw down the road here from the shop in the heart of Eastside downtown Rousersville. Runs third. Good for him. Dog Hollow, super late models. They don't have a lot of results out there, but I do know who won. That's right. The Uniontown Leadfoot. That's right. Michael Lake. He parks it in Victory Lane at Dog Hollow. He blew a motor, unfortunately, crossing the finish line. That's what I read. She went up, boosh, and now they're going to put another one in, okay? Speaking of motors blown, we knew Brock Pinkerus, Bam Bam, okay, out in the ULMS tour. Obviously, we got to know him and his family and team. They lost the motor at Sealings Grove weeks ago, and now they're back up and running. And he got a victory, okay, this past weekend. I just seen a flash of it. I don't know where it was. I just seen a flash across Facebook that they were victorious, their first super late model victory. So congratulations, old Bam Bam, Brock Pinkerus, and Russ King, okay? That's Russ King Racing, okay? So that is your results. You could see it wasn't, a lot of tracks were off. 1, 2, cancel, 3, 4. There was 4 tracks off, okay? But still, there was a lot of meat that did occur at the other tracks, obviously like Port Royal, Path Valley, okay, and Winchester. Winchester was good there. Let's flip over the paper. Here we go. We're flipping on. Now we're up to the Ashley Yoder Designs. That's right. Wraps, decals, race cars, signs, the whole 9 yards of who's hot. Now, who's hot? Super late models. I'm not going to say Ricky Thornton Jr. because that's a national level, and I'm not doing that. This show's not built on core values of national. It's built local and regional. So we're going to throw it to the Uniontown Leadfoot, Michael Lake. He just won a couple weeks the other week at Elkins, and then he parked it at Dog Hollow. So I'm going to give the guy dibs, okay? There you go. I'm going to give him dibs. Limited late models out of Worleystown, Pennsylvania. How about it? The Worleystown Express, DJ Myers. Hagerstown win there 2 weeks ago. He was 8th at Port. I know they were down a little bit, disappointed when that finished, but then he comes to Path Valley and lays her down on another level and parks it in Victory Lane. So we'll go with Myers. 410s, we'll go with Danny Dietrich. I mean, he's winning. I mean, he's right there. I got to give it to him. Mods, really looking at the only mod racing, obviously, was the Modified Mafia in town. I mean, the Fosters, number 5, I mean, you want to say Marlar, and that's a national thing, but, you know, Mike Marlar, but I just don't know who else I would give that to, obviously. I mean, I could say Dixon. I could, well, let me flip it over here. I could say Dixon. I could say Stremme. I could say Cable and Spike Moore. How about that? We'll give it to them all. You know what I'm saying? We'll give it to them all. We'll give it to them all. Stremme, Dixon, Spike, Cable. That's who we'll give it to, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? But Marlar obviously did win both nights. Upcoming. Hear me out. I told you there's a lot of racing. I told you. Okay? Port Royal Speedway, Saturday night. Butch Renninger Memorial, 22nd Annual Super Late Models, 7,333 smackaroonies lay on the line to the winner. Limited late models, 410s. Okay? Nice show for Saturday. Hagerstown Kids Night, late model sportsmen's, Semi-Lates, Pure Stocks, and Crown Vics. Some Crown Vics are fun to watch. I like him. Path Valley's off. I want to tell you that. They're off. They're dark. They're off this weekend on the 30th. Okay? They'll come back the following week with a regular show on the 6th of September. Okay? Ceilings Grove on Sunday. Paul Long Memorial, ladies and gentlemen. Super late models. $10,063 to win. Let me say it again. $10,063. That thing went up like $4,000. Okay? Limited late models, $2,563. Obviously, the 63, that's what Paul Long, his number was. $2,563 to the winner of the limited late models this Sunday night. Okay? Bedford. I'm always out of order on this. I get y'all bamboozled. Bedford, Friday night, the 38th annual Labor Day. Okay? 50 laps. 38th annual, super late models, $12,055. $12,055. That's a fall clash race. Okay, that's Bernheisel and his bunch. Mods and then pure stocks. Bedford Sunday. Bedford runs Sunday as well. It's championship night, ladies and gentlemen. Championship night. They're going to crown them. Late model sportsmen's, semi-lates, race saver sprints, and 4-bangers. Okay, that's Sunday. Winchester, limited late models, mods, East Coast Legends by Freeze and Company, Hobby Stocks. That's their final points race. So she's all starting to wind down. I hate to say it, but there's still a lot of racing left. There's money left. There's money shows local left. Okay? Potomac is on Sunday. Limited late models, $2,000 on the line. That's right. Modified Mafia is also at Budds Creek at Potomac on Sunday as well. So if you're a super late model team, hear me out, you can go to Bedford Friday and try to win yourself $12,055, right? Fall Clash race, which, remind you, is a American Racer only. You can go to Port Royal Saturday, Butch Renninger Memorial, and try to win yourself $7,333. Sunday, you can go to Ceilings Grove, to the Paul Long Memorial, and try to win yourself $10,063. And that's an open tire rule there. Who's your American Racer? Hoosier or American, either one. She's open. Ceilings Grove. So, if you were the guy that parked her in Victory Lane with a super late model at Bedford, at Port Royal, and Ceilings Grove, you get yourself $29,451. Let me say that again. $29,451 smackers if you parked her all 3 nights. You know, there's a guy that swept the weekend several weeks back, and his name's the truth, Greg Satterley. So I'd watch, okay, because He's been on a roll, and when he gets on a roll, this is a holy tear. He's going to run up front. And they got some new stuff, some crazy stuff going on over there in Robbie Allen Enterprise World and Satterley Racing. So they're fast. They are. They're fast right now. YouTube, Elbows Up Their Productions. Get on there and subscribe because everything we have, Zuckerberg will trash it after 30 days, and it's gone. So we put it over to the YouTube channel. Subscribe over it. It don't cost anything, okay? Next show with the guests, we're looking Thursday, September 11th. Thursday, September 11th. Okay, going to be an honorable day, obviously, in our history, and we're going to have a show, and we're going to give you a top-notch guest. Okay, we've been giving you top-notch guests, and we're going to continue to give them to you. Sponsorship seminar, hear me out. Sunday, November 16th. It's in Shady Grove, which is right off 81 in Greencastle. Sunday, November 16th. I'm going to put several posts out starting this week and continued on. It'll be a sponsorship seminar. It does cost. It's not an arm and a leg, okay? But I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. You're going to want to go to it. I truly mean that. Yeah, so that's what I have for tonight. Once again, this is Elbows Up Their Productions. This is the bottom line. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, we're going to bring it to you because we're fire on the wire. We're the hottest deal on the wire. And don't let them tell you any different. Nobody. Because we're going to keep it up for you, the fans, the racers, the supporters, the tracks. We're here for you all day long. That's who we are. Elbows Up. We'll see you this week.